Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Richard Lewis Show. We are doing it live, kind of like Bill O'Reilly, but without the inappropriate touching. I'm your host, Jesus. I'm your host, Richard Lewis. Joining me, as he always does, is my producer, Sam Davis. How are you doing, Sam?
All right, mate, I'm good.
And this is part of a plan. Me and Sam have had a plan because I'm off. We finished E-League. We've wrapped that up. So what we wanted to do, Sam and I, was to just have a little attempt at streaming a show live like a radio show, you know, like it would be if it was on every day. So we're going to stream it 5 days a week, and we're probably going to do it, like Monday to Friday?
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
And, it'll be on a little bit earlier, probably. I was late today. I didn't get a good night's sleep. And I'll get real about that in just a second and completely kill the vibe of the show. But so that's the plan. We're going to, probably do it around about 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UK, which would be 8 p.m. EU. You know what fucking time zone you're in. And we're going to do it. And then, we'll do it for a week or two. And then I'll be off to do the Clash for Cash, which is obviously the Australis Virtus Pro rematch. I never plug E-League on my show, but I may as well do it now. Tickets still available at eleague.com/tickets. So anyway, I didn't get a lot of sleep because it's Memorial Day, Sam, and I wanted to just say something about that because obviously we don't have Memorial Day in the UK. It's an American thing. Yeah. We have Remembrance Day, which is in November, right? So there's regular people who follow the show, probably know that, I had a friend who was killed in action like 14 years ago. Best friend killed in action 14 years ago. And obviously it's not like, because it's 14 years, you just adapt to like people not be, when people die for that long, once you get past a decade, the worst thing about like losing somebody you care about is that unfortunately, have you ever looked at an old photograph?
Yeah.
Like a really old photograph, or like one your mother will show you or something, and the colors are all off.
Yeah.
And nothing makes sense about it because you've only got the here and now to contextualize it. So it looks like everyone's wearing like old fashioned clothes.
Yeah.
And when it syncs up with the memory in your brain, that's not how you remember it. If you still have the memory of the photo, it's bright and it's vivid in here, and you're fashionable in here, and your haircut's not as shit in here. And when you try and sync it up with the image in front of you, it doesn't make any sense. But the image is probably, closer to the reality and like what happens on a long enough time scale when you've 2-3 years, it's still fresh. You can still get those vivid colors when you think about it. Yeah. But now it is just like looking at an old out of fashion, photograph. Mm-hmm. So once you get past 10 years, it doesn't kick you in the balls quite so much. But because it was Memorial Day, I got thinking about it, and still, again, just the fucking, just how ridiculous it is to have a friend that young, because he was like 24, die in action, right? And, I still do little things for him. Like, I still pursue his interests. So I still listen to the bands he listened to, the ones that are still around. And I still watch films and sequels to stuff that he would have liked to have seen. So I was just thinking about it all, and I couldn't get to fucking sleep. And I watched the sequel to Trainspotting because that was a film that we watched together back when we were teenagers, and it was a bad idea. It was a bad idea for the state of mind I was in. It's a great film. I was really impressed, actually. I didn't expect much from the sequel. But it's kind of a whimsical look at getting old and the things you leave behind. And I think the most important lesson of the movie is how nostalgia can be a trap that stops you moving forward. And it was a really good film. I was very impressed with it. And yeah, I kind of got thinking, yeah, what would Chris have made of that, and this, that, and the other. And unfortunately, whenever I get locked into a prolonged period of thinking about, my dead friend, I've like for 14 years, I've had these recurring dreams, right? And it's the same dream whenever they kick in. It's just me and him talking. We're in a dark room. And, I can make him out, and I know it's him. But he's slightly obscured, but I know it's him. And we're talking, and it's really good. And it's just me and him talking, and I'm telling him all of my shit, right? So this is what I've been doing, this is what I've been doing. And I fuck up in the same way every time in the dream. I always ask him, what's going on with you? And he says, well, nothing, because I'm dead. And then we just sit there in awkward silence, and I wake up. So I had that last night. I haven't had it for a while. And yeah, so you wake up, it's fucking storm and rain outside because it's Atlanta. And yeah, so I just had a few whiskeys and tried to snooze it off in the afternoon. So I'm a little bit discombobulated. So the point of bringing this up and creating a super mad negative vibe to start the show. Don't worry, there's jokes, by the way. They're coming. We've got. Don't run away. It's just that for Memorial Day, I guess if someone like that can fuck me up, 14 years later, and still be a presence, a factor in my head. Just put the politics aside for one day. I saw a lot of people, tweeting shit and talking and saying, what about Memorial Day for the civilians? And, why don't we have a Memorial Day for all the people who, yeah, okay, you're right. War sucks. But I think nobody hates war more than the people that have to go and fight them. And just for one day, just drop the politics, whatever you think about the military, whatever you think about Western foreign policy. There's plenty to criticize about both. But if you've got a loved one in the military and if you've been fortunate enough that they've made it back, maybe just talk to them and listen to what they got to say. Because I'll tell you, they're carrying unreal amounts of baggage. I was going through the news, the story. I watched the news this morning. I watched Donald Trump, at Arlington and whatnot. And I was reading this story, about some guy. He at this time every year, he walks from New York to Boston carrying the majors, Bergen, because they got hit by a mortar shell and his friend died and didn't make it. And, warfare isn't as savage as it used to be. It ain't like the trenches of World War I or the horrific landings and bombings of World War II. But I guarantee you, if you've got a loved one in the military, they'll have lost somebody. And, that's what this day is meant to be about. That's what Memorial Day is for. It's not Veterans Day. This is specifically for the fallen. And we're all carrying weight. So, yeah, just put the politics away for one day. You can get it all out again the day after, Anyway, so didn't happen. Fuck me, this was a week for it, dude. There was so much shit that didn't happen. I can't even begin to fucking just line it all up. It's just unreal. I'll start with a classic didn't happen because I think it gives me a nice platform to talk about how you can spot it didn't happen. So there's this guy on Twitter called, let me bring up his name. This is my reply to him, but the tweet's embedded in there if you want to bring it up. Pete Baskin. And Pete Baskin was talking about this thing. We'll probably talk about it in just a little bit. Wonder Woman is coming out. And some cinemas have decided or theaters have decided as a marketing gimmick, let's do some women-only showings. Yeah, strong women. Woo! Problem is, when we used to have men-only clubs, women took that away because they said it was sexist. when we used to have men's nights only in bars. You took that away because you said it was sexist. When businesses said we don't want to provide certain types of people with certain types of services, you said that was discrimination. And you took that away. And now we've got all this legislature in place that means actually a theatre can't discriminate and you can't deny the right to sell somebody a ticket based on their gender. In fact, in particular, where the hang on, I've got an image for you here so you can see for yourself. But where the cinema was having this promotion, it was actually impossible for them to go ahead with the promotion as was advertised. Because if men wanted to buy tickets, they literally couldn't stop them from doing it. Here's the proof of this bold claim. This was over in New York City, and you can see the NYC Commission on Human Rights protects individuals from discrimination in the area of public accommodations. Anyone who provides goods and services to the general public is considered a public accommodation. And if you look at examples of public accommodations, theaters, cinemas, that they're there. And you cannot be discriminated against on gender or gender identity. So they literally couldn't not sell men tickets if they wanted to. And a bunch of women, and again, I don't know if we'll get into it because it's not like a super interesting story. Basically, it's like marketing tool for film discriminates against men. Feminists say this is okay. Most sensible people say you're being retarded. And that's kind of the end of the story.
And then when the film fails, blame sexism again.
Yeah, and this is the other thing as well. I watched. I had to go through all of this. Batman versus Superman sucks balls.
I don't watch any comic movies made.
Oh no. Comic book movies can be good, but DC have taken a big steam and shit on the universe. Once you get outside of the Nolan Batman movies, it's a fucking sewer. Just a rampant torrenting sewer with just turds just winging off you. Oh God, no, please, DC Universe, no, Suicide Squad. Oh. Right, and I had to listen to all the feminist fucking press talking about how the best bit of the film was when Wonder Woman showed up. No, it wasn't. It didn't make sense. It was fucking garbage in a garbage movie that was already bloated and overweight. Throwing in this weird, hey, look, everyone, it's Wonder Woman because we want to plug her next movie, just made the film actually shit. Or anyone who says otherwise should really take a creative writing course. I strongly recommend it. It was absolute AIDS, and I feel comfortable using the term AIDS to describe something that's bad because despite what the left are telling us now, AIDS is bad. It's still bad. I'll probably bring that up in a little bit as well, make a note of that. So anyway, the bottom line is, right, there was a bunch of articles written online talking about how men were just big crybabies for just wanting to go see a movie. And it was really funny. There was there was feminists saying we need more women-only screening. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on in the cinema. I don't know about you. When I go to watch a movie, right, here's what happens. I go in, I pay way too much money for popcorn or soda, and probably it's because I'm a fat asshole, a bunch of those sweets as well. You know, the ones that you just wouldn't eat in any other situation because they've just been there for ages. The chocolate's all white and chalky and dusty and all the sugars falling off the fizzy colas.
Yeah.
Like one of the cleaners has just come in at night and just sucked them and put them back. You just wouldn't buy them. So you get a big bag of that and you sit down. It costs you a fucking fortune. You've had to remortgage your house. And then you sit in the dark and you shut the fuck up and you watch the film. Where's the discrimination? Where's the room for who's getting discriminated against? Where's the patriarchy present in a dark room? Shut the fuck up, watch the film. But it doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't work like that. So there was some feminists out there saying, it's great that this chain of cinemas is out there, fucking doing this for women. Women with a Y, probably. And you should support them and give them your business. So check this out. This was a tweet by Ian Miles Chong, who we like, recently victim of a hate campaign for some reason online, because apparently it's now hate speech if you take somebody's old tweets and tweet them out on your timeline. That's now hate speech, apparently. Yeah, I mean, there's reasonable expectations. But just look at this. So this is a feminist here, Erica Helderwald. The men who call us snowflakes, again, because the left and all these like libtards are really trying to reclaim these words. You know what I mean? Like, we're the snowflakes. No, we've just been saying we want equal rights, but we will hold you to your rules. That doesn't make us the snowflakes. You invented these ridiculous rules. We'll just apply them to you.
Yeah, I think they think we're doing it like, oh my god, oh.
No one's doing it seriously.
It's true. It is fully spiteful. Like 100%. It is. You want to fuck me? I will fuck you too.
It's spite. Exactly. We're doing it because your stupid rules are fucking up our life. So see how you like it when they're reflected back at you. But look at this. The men who call us snowflakes are currently on day 3 of crying about not being invited to one all-female screening of Wonder Woman. Hey, men angry about the all-female Wonder Woman screening, get back at us by buying open weekend tickets for you and all your friends. And then this guy says, not angry. The world owes you guys far more than an opening day. As far as buying tickets go, done and done. And then she just responds with, thanks so much, random man. Your opinion is noted. Wait, you just said to support your fucking cause. This is, like, you can't even be an ally. This is why I say, like, male feminists are the most wretched, servile creatures on fucking planet. Can we all just agree that? I mean, like, if we had one here,
David Attenborough should be commentating over at the depths of the sea.
Just
barely getting by.
Like, just all wretched, lumpy, bumpy, like something out of a Lovecraft novel.
Most grotesque places on Earth.
And here we see the beta male feminist. They never get to mate in their lifetime, not for want of trying. Theirs is a bold strategy, one where they let women insult them time and time again, mock their genitalia, whip them, beat them, spit on them, all in the hope of maybe one day mating, procreating, and creating another of their wretched number. Theirs is a dying species. You know, these people are just fucking pathetic. And like, they don't even admit that it's a strategy. That's why if you go and look up all these famous male feminists that were out there at Gamergate calling it a women's harassment movement, what do they all get found to have done later on? That's right, you're all committing sexual assault. Because the veneer, it's a mask, it slips. They're surrounded by all these, blue-haired women every day that are talking about how they put it out with everyone except male feminists, and they just snap and, let me have a squeeze. And that's it. It's over. Shit, fuck, I'm one of the bad guys. Fuck, no. Are we the baddies? So, anyway, look, back to this fucking didn't happen shit. So Pete Baskin.
Got to be a fake name as well, surely.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's just his Twitter name. I mean, he refers to himself as Mr. Pete, so,
Grow up.
Like, if you're going to give yourself a title.
Mr. Pete?
yeah, just live up a little.
He says he's a salesman.
The worst thing is, I don't know if he works at Twitch. He says he's on his Twitter profile, he's a brand nerd at Twitch. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's a job. I hope it isn't Twitch. I hope you're not employing people under the guise of brand nerd. But if he is, like, because I know Twitch people watch my show.
Have a word.
Have a word with him. Like, wreck him when you get into work. Yeah, like, just fucking straight wreck him, because not as bad as Audi do. Don't go full Audi on him. Don't burn him. Don't set him on fire or whatever.
It's all banter, man.
Yeah, I think I know what we've gone too far. Jail. But anyway, look, so he goes, I asked my mom what she thought about the Wonder Woman No Dudes showings. She dropped some and again, can I, look, I don't mind emojis for kids, but there's a surefire way to spot a cunt. And if you're over 30 and you use an emoji, you're a cunt, an irredeemable cunt. That's it.
No rescuing him. Get him out.
No, you're done. You're done. You and the male feminists should be round up and sent to fucking Pariah Island. And just, what are you here for? These all mutated, gross creatures. I use emojis. That's it. Just get them on the fucking island away from us. Right? Cause fuck me. The thinking face one triggers me the most.
I like that one though, because that one's like a sarcastic one, so it's not.
Yeah, but the people who use it don't like use it in like the most mundane of situations. Like, wait, didn't you tweet this 5 months ago, and now you're saying this? Really makes you think. I'm out. I'm out, mate. It triggers me too much, mate. Get that out of my fucking face. Not some deep thing. Get it, man.
One thinking emoji's all it takes. And get him out.
That's it. Get him out. I've had enough. It's just too much, isn't it? Like, look, people doing it in the chat now. Getting triggered
I
off
can't even
the
see him because look at all the kids on phone with the emojis. I can't even see him, kiddos. Fuck you.
It's just too fucking much, like, isn't it? Yeah, really gets you thinking. Really makes you think. Like, fucking. It doesn't, right? You've just noticed a very low level moment of hypocrisy, which everybody engages in. You don't really. It makes you fuck off. Like, stop. You haven't solved. You know, you haven't translated the Dead Sea Scrolls. Like, you haven't unearthed the conspiracy. Just fucking calm down. Fuck that emoji. Get one of you, dog. Anyway, so she dropped some fire. I'll go back to Mr. Pete. Fire, right? She didn't drop fire. I mean, first of all, this didn't happen. It's in the section didn't happen. So none of this happened, and you're going to see immediately how it didn't happen. And again, I'm going to give you all the gift of how to spot when something doesn't happen. So look, okay, prepare yourself for a super duper mom rant, right?
Grow up.
If my mother ever fucking keep in mind, as you'll see from this needless exposition in just a minute, this is a woman claiming to be in her 60s. Nah. And if my mother wanted to talk like that to me, it's never too late for divorce from your parents. Like, you know, you're getting cut the fuck out. You will not inherit my debt. You know? So anyway, and then follows it with, let me guess, it's a bunch of privileged white men who are big, whiny babies.
So,
as a woman in my 60s, right, just to remind you, my son of my age, whose mother does that? Well, as you know, Richard, I'm in my 60s. Mom, I know. You're my mother. Like, what the fuck? You know? Has your mother ever done that to you?
no.
She ever prefaced a sentence with how old she is?
No, and if she did, she wouldn't say her age. She'd just say, at my age. She would expect me to know how old she is.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, when you get to my age, that's believable. That's believable when you get to my age. You know, as a woman in my 60s, this is for the benefit of the audience. This is exposition. This is a storytelling trait. I was left out of all kinds of events because they were all male. Now, talk about double standard. So anyway, I went through, okay? Let's generously say that Mr. Pete Basgan's mother is 65. And I went right the way back, right? So that would put her born in 52, right? So then she's kind of doing things and socializing in the 70s. Now, if you look in the 70s, that's when gender equality really starts taking off. Google it. The feminist movement of the 70s was like considered like sort of the second great wave of feminism after kind of what happened, suffragettes right the way through to the war and women working in the factories and getting the vote and everything else. It was the next great strides we made to gender equality. So I do find it hard to believe that anybody in that time frame was like being like just big sign going up, no chicks allowed.
Yeah, well, everyone's off their mind on LSD as well.
Yeah, like just all straight fucking each other. Free love, but we don't want any women in it. Yeah. Dude, no one was good. So, went into that. Then she goes, wah. Nah, again, no 60-year-old woman is texting you this. The truth is, it is cathartic to watch Wonder Woman in a group of all women and not have some judgmental, privileged male in the room. Healing, even. How long we have to put up with the patriarchy? Damn bunch of babies. Okay, then. Over and out. So this is I mean, unless his mother was in the RAF as well.
She's a lorry driver, over and out.
Over and out. No, your mother in her 60s didn't end a text over and out, right? So this is like the fakest shit I've ever seen. 43,000 likes, 14,000 retweets. Look at the comments below. I love your mom. My mother is my hero, he says like multiple times. Can she be my mother? All of this, like, right, guys, all right? It's made up. It's fake. It's gibberish, right? I'm going to tell you why. Have you noticed on Tumblr and social media, all of the posts that get popular and reblogged all start the same? They all start the same, right? And this is what they do. First of all, it says, right, I'm going to drop some knowledge on you now. That's basically the opening sentence of all of them. It's always like, hey guys, listen up. I'm going to tell you something. Or I went and studied in Africa, so I know a thing or two about it. It's always this, I'm an appeal.
I have knowledge you don't.
Yes, it's an appeal to my intellect. I'm about to tell you something, so listen, right? And of course, everyone starts. And they... So then, right. So let me tell you, the concept of male privilege, white privilege, this is all new. It's an invention of intersectional feminists and sociologists. Nobody was using this term way back when. It's not something that's in the lexicon of people. So what you've got here is immediately a bunch of Tumblr buzzwords. Now, keep in mind as well, it's a bunch of privileged white men. No feminist from the period of time of the 60s, 70s, etc. It wasn't about white men. It was just about men, right? I mean, you'll read. I was a sociology student. I read a lot of texts where women felt, in the 50s, for example, felt they were on a par with or behind black men at the height of the civil rights movement. So... again, you can go Google this shit, look it up. So why she wouldn't bring race to the table? It's a bunch of privileged white men. And then, of course, it just echoes that big whiny babies thing, which actually, incredibly, has been included in multiple headlines and multiple write-ups on multiple publications since this fucking story broke. Then, as I said, exposition as a woman in my 60s, because I know you're going to put this on Twitter. I know you're going to show this to all your friends. So it's essential that I tell you my age so total strangers can contextualize that when I say in the opening sentence that a super duper mom rant is coming, you know that you can believe it because I was around way back when in a time children can't imagine. Now, again, I was out of all kinds of events. No, you weren't. That wasn't happening back then. This isn't the Mad Men era, but, maybe you just didn't get your history right, Pete. Now talk about a double standard. And again, it's this idea that, these bad things happened to us back then, so now it's okay to do them to another group of people now. Again, this belief, this flawed belief is at the core of intersectional identity politics, which fucks everything up. It's the idea that because we were oppressed way back when, not me specifically, because I wasn't there, but people in my group, I can now fuck with you and it's just payback and it's fine. And, right? Then she goes, the truth is it is cathartic to watch Wonder Woman in a group of all women and not have some judgmental, privileged, right? Male privilege in the room. Healing, even. Healing for what exactly? Again, it's this concept that women walk around with all this like weight and, oh God, it's just, the male gaze and masculinity and, oh God, it's just horrible. You don't know what it's like. We're just carrying these wounds around with us. And if we can just get in a room and watch Wonder Woman just together, and sync up our menstrual cycles, it's all good. And it's like, no, this is Tumblr nonsense. This is Tumblr nonsense. I know plenty of women, obviously, they don't talk and think this way. This is, again, a very small subset. I know older women in the 60s. Nobody talks like this. I'll guarantee you the average woman you talk to in their 60s finds the whole prospect of identity politics absolute nonsense. Probably horrifying when it's taken to its ridiculous conclusions. How long do we have to put up with the patriarchy? Now, again, this has just got the fucking greasy fingerprints of a serial liar about it. There's no way a woman in her 60s is talking about the shadowy patriarchy as you know it. Again, it's a more recent sociological phenomenon. And then it says bunch of babies, again, echoing. Now, this is the important thing. What do all these Tumblr reblog posts end with? Mic drop. They do that, don't they? They let you know when it's over. They let you know when they've dropped the knowledge bomb. And you can go, oh, yeah, knowledge bomb. Yeah, that's what it was. So, yeah, I get it now, right? And they tell you when it's over. They over and out, right? Mic drop. And everybody clapped.
That's always a classic.
Yeah. You know what I mean? These are serial lies. Okay? So, did I get lick my balls?
We had a bunch of subs, Myth.
Thanks for all the subs, guys. I just saw people going, haha, lick my balls. So it's like it started out as a mad somber affair. Can you imagine I'm giving a speech about fucking the importance of Memorial Day? Lick my balls!
I turned it off there then, mate. I'm on the button, mate.
On the button, I like it. So there you go. So this is a definite fake from Pete Baskin, but it's a fake that's been retweeted, reblogged. It'll pop up for months and months, years to come. All right. I saw another one. This one is ridiculous, right? Let me get it for you. I even had a bunch of total strangers harassing me about this one because I linked him the Vice article on people.
Yeah, I saw this one.
Right. So this is the guy Mason Cross, right, who has now changed his bio to be Ava's dad, right? And he said, my daughter actually submitted this feedback at school. Not sure if I should ground her or buy her ice cream. And it said things my teachers can do better. Not use collective punishment, as it is not fair on the many people who did nothing. And under the 1949 Geneva Conventions Act, it is a war crime. Now, people asked, how old's your kid? And he said 11. And I suppose it's not out of realms of possibility that you may have heard of the Geneva Convention and this kind of thing. But actually, under the Geneva Convention, it doesn't explicitly say that collective punishment is a war crime, right? What it does, it's very specific situation. Like, you know, there's a quote in there. I had it ready and I lost it now, and I don't know if it's that important to pause the flow of the show to go find it. But in one of the fucking articles of the convention, it basically says that when it comes to meting out punishment, it's got to be done in an even-handed and appropriate fashion for the individual or something. So if you interpret that, then yes, collective punishment can be bad. I don't think an 11-year-old is making this leap. Okay? And people did correct him. This is another thing, right? This is before we go in deep on this. People did say, you made this up, mate, didn't you? And he goes, well, if I made it up, I would have had her correct the spelling on Geneva. And it's like, no, you deliberately spelled Geneva wrong to make it look like it's a kid. That's the accusation. So, and that was the clear accusation. And it's like, oh, well, I would have had her spell it right. No. We're saying you wrote it. Why are you deflecting like that? Right? So again, this is like standard lying. And he's there thinking, oh, I'm so clever. I've got them. Now, let's just have a look at this. Let's have a look at the handwriting. Weird, isn't it? How if you look at this, that for the first half of the sentence, the eyes are kind of going backwards, right? And sometimes they join up. And then in the latter half, they start sloping forwards. So if you look at the did above 1949, I goes backwards. You look at the is above the who, I goes backwards. You look at the it above people, I goes backwards. You look at the I in collective, I goes backwards. Gets to Geneva Conventions, I goes forwards. Gets to crime, forwards. It's in a slightly different color as well. It's slightly dark. I can put that down to the Photoshop, maybe. Interesting, isn't it? Really makes you think.
That's going to be a gift now, mate.
Yeah, I thought so.
Thinking rich.
The E's look slightly more polished, and and have a lot more space. And I'm no expert in analyzing handwriting, but I'm pretty sure this is fake. Now,
also the O starts somewhere else. If you look at the O in where she's trying to write convention, the O's don't start in the same place as the other places, mate. I'm looking at you, mate. Come on, Mason. Can't even forge right.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Good point. Yeah, the O's are slightly different as well. So here's the thing, right? So, why would anybody fake this, you think to yourself? Well, I mean, apart from the fact that things do tend to do quite well on Twitter. 500,000 likes, 163,000 retweets. But it doesn't end there. Right, Richard, you say all the time how you hate the BBC. You talk all the time about how you hate the BBC. Why, Richard? It's just so irrational. I hate the BBC because they cover shit like this. They consider this worth writing up, right? And this didn't just go out in the tech section, right? Or as a little whimsical story. Look, it's Scottish news. This is considered the most important thing that happened in Scotland on the 26th of May. This was on the front fucking page of the BBC under Scottish news.
Nicola Sturgeon must not have done much that day, man.
It's nothing happening in Scotland. Nothing. Really nothing. This close to an election. This is what you've got, BBC. Come on. Listen to the way they write this up. An 11-year-old girl's assertion that her school was guilty of a war crime, not quite what she said, has gone viral. Her father, Gavin Bell, also known as author Mason Cross. So, all right, I'm supposed to believe some cunt who operates under a fake fucking name, by the way. Your whole identity.
Gavin Bell, man.
Yeah, and he is a fucking Bell. It's your boy Gavin.
He's got a stage name for when he pretends to be a child.
She revealed on Twitter that she had gone rogue on a pupil feedback form. Not sure if I should ground her or buy her ice cream, Mr. Bell mused. Right? I thought a teacher could do better. Ava Bell wrote, not use collective punishment, as it is not fair on the many people who did nothing, and under the 1949 Geneva Conventions, it is a war crime. The picture showing this suggestion, handwritten in pencil, has been liked more than 400,000 times on Twitter. Obviously, we're now past that. Mr. Bell, who is based in Glasgow, said his eldest child is 11, going on 47. Well, in which case, you fucking raised her wrong. No 11-year-old should be all fucking chewed up, worn out. Like,
yeah, why is she reading the fucking Geneva Convention? What are you giving this girl to read?
Can we get some...
that read the Geneva Convention and don't come out to, everything rule by motherfucking rule.
Yeah, exactly. Don't come out until you know every obscure interpretation of every single article of that human rights enshrining document. This is fucking nonsense. And my child's 11 going on 47. And we need social services in it. You should be full of whimsy and wonder.
She's got some sort of Benjamin Button disease, man.
Yeah, true, actually. And then he goes, I should clarify that she thinks her teacher is awesome. It's just this aspect of the educational system, she has an issue with it. Oh, she's 11 and she has issue.
Yeah, she brought down her individual complaints, of course.
Yeah, makes sense.
Teacher, I do not have any issue with your current education system other than this collective punishment jargon.
Yeah, exactly. This is unacceptable. And some people say, meh, no way this actually happened. Shame on you for using your kid for retweets. And the father replied, dude, if I'd made it up, I would have got her to fix the spelling of Geneva. Again, that's such a weird lie. People like Ava for Prime Minister. She has actually considered it, but already decided it would be too much hassle. Yeah, it was never going to happen, by the way, guys. Right? Because it's you on Twitter. Your child isn't exceptional. It's you who are mentally ill, pretending to be a child on the internet, right? And then he later updated it with pictures of her getting ice cream. There it is. There's the face of a genius right there. a child prodigy. Here's the thing, though, Sam. I don't know if you've noticed this, but his tweet's gone viral. Turns out, what does Gavin Bell do for a living? Well, as we know, he's an author under the name Mason Cross. What possible benefit could there be to an author to have a viral tweet? What possible benefit could there be? Let's just have a look at his Twitter. Oh, he's got a book out. He's got a book out called Don't Look For Me. Carter Blake never did follow the rules. It sounds like derivative nonsense, right? Changed his profile pic. Here's me. At a book signing, probably he's trying to imply. Probably has a part-time job in Waterstones, the cunt. Right? But Carter Blake never did follow the rules. Don't look for me, because I'll be on Twitter pretending to be an 11-year-old girl, Mason Cross. Right? So obviously it's great for him that this goes fucking viral. Look at this pinned tweet. The pinned tweet isn't his daughter's fake fucking nonsense. It's need a thrilling beach read. My first novel, The Killing Season, is only 99p on Kindle.
You'll chill out for a quid. You'll do anything for spare change.
Exactly. Alternatively, mate, come down to my street corner, do a little shimmy, and I'll double you fucking wino. What an absolute loser. Like, I can't even take this cunt serious, man. You're straight lying to get clicks. Right? But nobody's even putting this together. He's an author. He lies for a living. He writes fiction. Why do you believe it? It's fiction. And the BBC are giving him coverage. Scottish News. What happened in Scotland today? How's the March for Independence going? What about the healthcare system? What about in a worrying time with major cities in the UK being targeted? What's Glasgow doing about its anti-terrorist measures after already having been targeted by what? Nah, none of that. An 11-year-old girl on Twitter has said her school broke the Geneva Convention, which it didn't. Front page news. Saw one today, Sam. More didn't happen. Classic didn't happen. And it's just mental that people are doing this. Right? This one is almost like just sinister. It's just so weird. Right?
Right.
Like, for real. Someone linked me this. And I was like, well, that sounds pretty bad. Because, look, we know airport security is out of fucking control, right? Like,
yeah.
I think we can agree with that.
Can be a bit aggro.
Yeah, you know, like fucking. All right, we get it. Let's just be real for a second. You're a fucking mall cop. All right, let's just
calm down, Paul Blart.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just fucking be honest here. You're a mall cop. You got no real fucking authority. You know, like if it ever got hairy, the real police are gonna turn up. You're like those cunts who walk around city centres late at night in a luminous jacket with community support officer on the back. And when you catch a kid doing something wrong, you can't even arrest them. That's what you're doing. But she said it. I was just sexually assaulted at RDU Airport by the TSA. Right? So she then says, when I protested of being sexually assaulted, you don't protest the sexual assault. You get away from it, right? They tried to force me to go to a back room for a strip search. Crying now. So what I think's happened here is she probably got singled out for whatever fucking reason, and probably went through what we've all gone through at some point. I've had a fucking TSA guy grab my junk.
Yeah, I had that in Berlin.
Yeah, but it's always fucking the Germans with us, man. Happened to me too. That was where I got held for having recording equipment. They took me in the second room and asked me why I've got recording equipment. I'm like, to record things. I'm a journalist. Occasionally we need to do that. Record what type of things? Whatever. Can I go now? Like, but look, this is insane. How many people does this have to happen to before they stop saying they're just following orders? Right? I'll tell you one thing I know about the TSA. No TSA person has ever said we are only following orders. Because you know the group of people in uniforms who said that shit. You know they were, don't you, Sam?
Yay.
The Nazis, wasn't it? No one ever says the phrase, Just following orders. Because then you just immediately come back with him. You know who else followed orders, don't you? This is worse than Hitler's Germany, I tell you.
Stand up,
right?
Nick Houghton. Join the resistance.
No one ever uses that phrase anymore. Right? So then she goes, I don't have footage because they took my phone away. Okay, fair enough. Right? The agent doing the pat down was trying to be professional. So it's a pat down, not a sexual assault. What is it?
Is the pat down like exclusively over the clothes too, right?
Yeah, pat down is over the clothes. So she hasn't even been, right? So this, like, just read between the lines here. She's just had a pat down.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you flown before, Miss Hicks? Have you seen what happened since September the 11th at the airport? A pat down? Everyone's getting one of them. Like, legit. I go into the X-ray tube, then get a pat down. Right? And when I'm traveling with certain types of equipment, I get interviewed. That's just...
mics are really bad. Like, when you put a mic through a scanner, apparently it looks really bad. So, like, every time I get a second interview, and they freak out if I touch the bag. If I touch the bag with the mic, they say, "Stop, sir, stop!" I'm like, fucking hell. Please, no bullet to the head. I've seen how this goes.
Yeah, exactly. Right? But look, just look at this. So the agent doing the pat down was trying to be professional, just following orders. Right? But the supervisor kept telling her to go further. So we even know, right? It's as has to happen at the airport. If you are subject to a pat down or secondary strip search, it's got to be done by someone of the same gender. So a woman has to have a woman, right? Just following orders, the supervisor said. The supervisor kept telling her to go further, sadistically. Yeah.
I know, as if she was wanking it. Yeah.
Get in there.
Yeah, check her for dangerous things, yeah.
Sounds like it was a training exercise. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like, no, you haven't done it properly. Yeah.
When I started to protest and get upset, well, this is your problem right here. This is what you acquiesce to when you go through airport security. This isn't a sexual assault. It's no more sexual assault than when it happens to me, happens to Sam, happens to fucking anybody who travels. If you think you've been treated in an unfair fashion, complain, right? So we're going to get to that. That was when I lost it. And because I was crying and people were looking, including a police officer, I wasn't dragged off to the back room. I had no choice in the matter. There was no getting away from it once it started. I'd already been through the body scanner and cleared. This was a pointless additional search. And she said, well, this has made me not want to fly again. Now, if you scroll down, you'll see the international airport she flew from said, the airport tweeted at her and said, call the police. If you've been sexually assaulted in our airport, call the police. Right? And here's the number. And she goes, a police officer was there and did nothing to help me. Why on earth should I contact the police? But you're saying you've been a victim of a crime. That's the reason.
Yeah, and also, not every police one is the same, even if that part was true. Why would that mean the entire police force isn't going to listen?
There isn't a conspiracy. Well, fucking hell, that's it. The gig's up. We can't stop noncing people when they're trying to get on a plane. She's ruined it. She's ruined the perk of the job. There's no conspiracy here. Right? A police officer was there and did nothing to help me. Why on earth should I contact the police? I'll contact my elected reps. Meanwhile, you need to fix your problem. Shouldn't be up to police to force you. Supervisor was a sadist and should not be in that job. Right? So here's the thing. If I was the victim of a sexual assault, going through airport security, literally, if I was getting inappropriately touched by a member of staff while another member of staff was going, yeah, get him, get in there, yeah, like that fucking scene from Pulp Fiction, right, where Marcellus Wallace is just getting straight rinsed and the other guy's going, yeah, wee, ball gagging in your fucking mouth. If that's happening to me, right, well, I'm definitely going to the police. And you know why? You know why I'd go to the police, Sam?
What?
You know what else is at airports?
Cameras everywhere.
Yeah. Fucking cameras everywhere. They've got more cameras per square inch in a fucking airport than probably anywhere else. Probably more than
a prison, yeah,
or a prison, yeah. So if this was happening, there'd be footage of it somewhere. I mean, we've seen time and time again, whenever anyone's mistreated by airport staff in any capacity, someone gets their phone out and films it. CCTV can be got.
Yeah, nowadays, whenever there's a noise, people start filming because they want this attention, and like everyone else who's making stories up online, they just want the clicks.
So I'd definitely be reporting it to the police, because you know what else happens? If you were the victim of a crime of this nature and it's on camera, cha-ching!
Yep, that's you never working again, and the person who did it goes to prison.
So I always find it odd when people make these like mad extravagant claims, and they always say like fucking I can't I'm not going to go through the proper channels, but trust me, it definitely happened, and I will be speaking to my elected officials about it. Elected officials aren't going to give a shit. You're going to get a fucking letter that's signed by the secretary while they go out and do actual government things. Right? If you want to actually get something done about it, you go to the fucking police. Right? That's what you do. It's just insane that you would claim to be sexually assaulted in a public spot and not report it to the authorities. Why wouldn't you? Like, legit, there is no reason not to do that. I'd want that person. If somebody had done something like that to me, and like, again, if you take the story as genuine, the first thing you do isn't go on Twitter about it. You get in touch with somebody. You get these people fucking arrested. So this is nonsense. So there you have it. Didn't happen across the fucking board. Right? Just madness. Twitter is literally becoming that's all it is now. Tweets. People just tweeting lies and stuff. You know, like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I guarantee that goes no further, by the way. Like, I'm sure some journalists have already contacted her going, look, can you tell me more about it, blah, blah, blah. My memory's hazy. Oh, well, can you at least give me the, a brief description of the sadist officer? Oh, bloody hell, no. Right. Madness. Right, let's get into some real fucking madness, mate. I mean, real shit. Man. You got to strap yourself up for this, brother.
I'm ready.
Right. I mean, this will fucking blow your mind. Evergreen.
All right.
Evergreen. Have you been following this?
Yeah, I have loosely.
All right. So Evergreen College. Evergreen College. We've been talking about Evergreen. We've been talking about colleges and campuses and everything else going fucking mental. Just like this complete breakdown of the rules. We've been talking about it on this show for ages, and we've been saying it's going to get worse, it's going to get worse, it's going to get worse. Nobody's fucking standing up to this shit. You are letting these people, like, okay, so activists these days, it starts out like, LARPing. You're role-playing being an activist. You're not really an activist. You're not really changing anything. You're being humored in a space where it's okay. And you'll go out into the real world and quickly realize that all the status and everything else that you think you've got, it doesn't matter anymore, right? The space that encouraged you and gave you this illusion of being important, being an activist, you've left it, and everyone else just thinks you're an idiot. And welcome to the real world. Now shut up and queue up for bread. So, Evergreen. I've never seen anything like this, and I'm going to try and not get angry. But this story fucking infuriates me. I mean, it really does. Because what we're dealing with here is... I mean, this is like terrorism. This is like terrorism. This is like domestic terrorism. I mean, honestly, I know you're probably going to think right now, oh, Richard's lost the fucking plot to describe it that way. We're going to start. Right, you're going to have to stop this video at various points, Sam, because it's all in... But I'm going to show you how this all started. So just in case you haven't followed this story at all, Evergreen College has this thing called a day of absence, right? And what it is because of the terrible treatment for people of color and minorities and black students and whatever else in the past, there's one day where they can just have it off. They just don't come into class. They don't send in their assignments. And the faculty just turn a blind eye to it, and it's like some weak, watered-down form of reparations. And that system has been in operation at Evergreen for a while, and it worked. This time around, for the day of absence, they wanted to do something different. And do you know what their suggestion was, Sam? No white people allowed on the campus on this day. We're going to switch it up a little bit. It was fine. We weren't going to come to class, but now you cannot come onto the campus. No white people allowed for one day, right? And a professor who's as fucking liberal as they come, you'll see that.
Yeah, this is mental.
Progressive professor said, do you know what, guys? I'm not really feeling that. I'm not really feeling that's the way to go about things. I think that puts a somewhat negative twist on what you're trying to achieve. It feels exclusionary, aggressive. So I'm not going to adhere to the ban. Meanwhile, of course, all the rest of the fucking faculty, they're just like,
peace.
Yeah, so cuckolded and fucked over by this group of activists that we've empowered. And this is a problem that's only really took root in the last year. And again, I'll show you that.
In fact, there's an activism group protesting for racial segregation, mate. How is that a thing?
Mate, the growing movement from the left to have racial segregation is insane. It's insane. They are saying that black people need to be separate from whites for their own safety. And I don't know if this is some like psyop or something. You know, I don't want to sound like fucking Alex Jones, but that completely undoes the entire civil rights movements. And when we show you these videos, by the way, I want everybody here, go watch the civil rights movements, protests and the sit-ins. And watch how everybody there, despite absolute appalling treatment, look at the quiet dignity which the civil rights movement contained itself, and how they achieved their goals for upward mobility, social progression, and equality without resorting to behavior like this. It's so repellent. Just watching it, it's impossible to sympathize or even like these individuals, because what they're doing is it's not in line with what any of the great civil rights leaders would approve of. So let's start with the video. So this video, we're going to jump it up. I've got some timestamps. This video here is the start of it. And this is where the professor in question, Professor Weinstein, has gone on the campus and is trying to say to them and explain, this is why this is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, but this is why I believe that when you exclude white people from campus, it's wrong. Okay. And he's immediately accused of being a racist for something he said in class. So they just add that. You'll see that in a second, and I'll bring up what it was. But let's just start this video. We'll do the all 3, 2, 1, and then I'll tell you when to stop, and we can react and stuff. Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
So.
Difference between debate and dialectic. Debate. Wait a second. No, it is. Debate means you are trying to win. Dialectic means you are using disagreement to discover what is true. I am not interested in debate. I am interested only in dialectic, which does mean I listen to you and you listen to me.
We don't care what terms you want to speak on. This is not about you.
I'm talking.
This is
all about him.
On terms of white privilege. This is not a discussion. You have lost that one.
I am talking about terms that serve the truth. Those are the terms.
Alright, let's have some dialectic. You said some racist shit. Can you apologize?
I did not. Okay. You don't know. Emails and target students of color.
Nothing racist about it.
Do I think that black students in sciences are targeted here? Do I think they're targeted anywhere?
Speak to what you know and speak to.
Okay. I do not believe that students of color are targeted in the sciences here.
Why?
But maybe I misunderstand what you mean by targeted.
Targeted by racism.
Oh my God.
Get the fuck out.
So wait a second.
What mic so we can hear?
to me, targeted means something different than what I just heard you define it as. I do not believe that anybody on our faculty with intent specially targets.
Exactly. Fuck what you gotta say.
I know, man.
Fuck what you gotta say.
Good
one.
I didn't hear you at the
Gotti.
Your protest of Day of Ashes, your presence taken as a protest, if you will. That's what you said in your email. But you're targeting for black students.
May I answer that question?
Okay,
wait a second. First of all, Day of Absence has been here longer than I have. I have never protested it until the idea. Until no. First of all, I didn't say. Would you like to hear the answer or not?
No.
Okay.
You're useless, man. You're not learning anything.
Chill.
I like this guy.
Yeah, you started up, man.
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready to start windmilling with them big long arms.
Imagine.
You're useless. Get the fuck out.
You're useless. I mean, he's teaching you in university, you shit mess. You were relying on him to fuck your brain into a good place, and you're saying he knows nothing. Mentally ill.
Listen to me. Yes, I know. And history could pivot in the direction of the values that you are standing here for.
Yeah, resign.
What?
Resign.
I'm not resigning.
Okay.
If I owe an apology, I will deliver it.
Wait, hey.
Yeah, let's have a chant. Yeah. He's winning with words, let's just be louder.
Let's pause it here. Okay, so there's only one thing that triggers me harder than the thinking face emoji, and it's the hey hey ho ho chant. Hey hey ho ho. It is the laziest chant because like as a sports fan, as a football fan, we make up songs. Sports fans, you make up hilarious songs. And you got loads of them, and you make them up on the fucking spot, right? The hey, hey, ho, ho chant, right? So for starters, the first line is always hey, hey, ho, ho. So it's written for you. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Then you just simply insert whatever has triggered you to go full re. So, in this case, Brett Weinstein. And then you just say has got to go at the end. It's absurd. And here's the thing. I just want to say this, and maybe it's unreasonable. You can tell me if I'm being unreasonable. If you've ever unironically chanted this, I want you on the fucking island with the male feminists and the thinking face emojis. Like you're just in a
101, send them down.
Yeah, it's just exactly. Just what are you doing with this chant? If you've ever unironically chanted this.
At least the no fascist, no KKK. At least you got to make up all those words. They aren't pre-written.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing with that is as well. What is it? No fascist, no
KKK, no Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
The thing with that is that chant's just stupid because say no Trump. You've got Trump. He's real. It happened. No KKK.
Barely, mate.
They're not in power. I don't know if you missed that. They didn't run in the elections. I don't want to upset anybody. The KKK didn't get elected. I know that might break a lot of people's narratives here. No fascist USA. Definitely not a fascist state. Can tell you that. So that chant
one though, of course, with all these anti-fascism. Slowly.
Yeah. So, just say. So anyway, back to this video. Now, if we fast forward to, let me just find this next bit. So once the chants start, nothing whips these fucking cretins up into a frenzy more than this whole, hey, hey, ho, ho. That's it. Now we can go out and, dance and fucking break things and destroy property and threaten and intimidate people. This is the war chant. This is the hey, ho, ho, and off they go, right? So just we'll go to 441. Just watch what they've been whipped up into here. Yes. You'll see this motley crew, this mob.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. Brett Weinstein's got to go. Hey,
Hey, ho, ho.
Brett Weinstein's got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Brett Weinstein's got to go. Hey, ho, ho. Brett Weinstein's got to go. Hey, hey.
This guy can't even do the rhyme right, by the way. He can't even stay in rhythm.
Brett Weinstein's got to go. Hey, hey.
The sound's all fucked up
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
it's live stream, doesn't it?
Hey, ho. Brett Weinstein's got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Brett Weinstein's got to go. Hey,
Right.
hey. Brett
So
Weinstein's
now,
hey, hey. Ho,
you're
ho.
gonna get a guest appearance
Brett
here
Weinstein's got to go.
Right.
Hey, hey.
from
Ho, ho.
police,
Brett
campus
Weinstein's
police.
got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Brett Weinstein's got to go.
He
Hey,
didn't
hey.
even say his name right
Ho,
that
ho.
time. He called him
Brett
Rat.
Weinstein's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Brett Weinstein's got to go.
Bobby,
Hey,
stop
hey.
it, right?
Brett Weinstein's got to go.
Why is he just running
Ho, ho.
around
Brett
like a fucking
Weinstein's
wild
got to
animal?
go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
No direction.
Brett Weinstein's got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Brett Weinstein's got to go. Hey, hey.
But keep in mind, this all started simply because he went to try and explain why he was protesting what they wanted to achieve. Talk to them civilly. Here we go. So here's the police. And you'll see that.
Because they're going to most likely have patrol cars right by the con building.
Do we know that?
Like, yeah, I just know that that's where they usually put.
Pause it here. So you'll see that the male police officer there was obstructed trying to get through. The female police officer is trying to engage with the mob and ask them to stop. Now, why is this happening? Why are the police there, you may wonder? The police are there because they'd received a report that a member of the faculty was in danger, and these are the campus police. Right? So these police officers turn up and are immediately prevented from what they're trying to do. Now, it comes out at a later meeting, because they've had several meetings about this, that the police officers had to go in a side entrance to go about their duty, and that these students obstructed them. But they have been told by the head of campus not to arrest anybody, not to do anything, just to let them pass, just to let them conduct themselves in this fashion. This is insane.
How much longer could we allow this to fly, mate? Every day I'm waiting for the breaking point. I thought people asking for literal racial segregation would be it. I guess not. I guess that isn't it.
No, but these students are literally. This isn't. They've literally obstructed a police officer trying to check on somebody after they've received a report that they were in danger and surrounded by a mob. And that same said mob has prevented a police officer from gaining access to the building he has jurisdiction over. And a female police officer is trying to talk them down. And they've been told specifically that because of the sensitivities in this particular matter, that they mustn't arrest them and they mustn't use force, even when the mob is using force against them.
We're giving the police rules, man. There's a reason they get trained to be police. It's because they are the best side.
It's because they are campus police, and campus police falls under the jurisdiction of the head of faculty, right? So their hands are tied. I'm pretty sure that guy, look, and I'm
dying to start windmilling.
It gets worse. You're not going to believe where this goes to. All right. So naturally, and this is what makes me laugh, right? Oh, the right-wing media outrage machine. Who isn't outraged by this? Who isn't outraged by a professor being terrorized by a mob called a racist, having it demanded that he resigns because he went to try and talk to the student body and say, I don't think we should be excluding white people from campus. I don't think that's the way we do things. And I support the day of absence, support everything else. But that's all it took to trigger this incident, right? And it gets worse. Wait till you hear this. So the professor goes on Tucker Carlson, the right-wing outrage media machine, which everyone should be outraged about this. Everybody should be outraged about this. I do not support condone police brutality. You know that. You've all seen the shows, how we focused on them, and I've said the American police are out of control. That right there is the antidote to that argument. Because we saw these mobs at Berkeley. We saw the police stand down. How many times have we seen these mobs, campuses? We see Antifa smashing bike locks over people's head. We need 4chan to conduct an investigation to get that guy arrested because the police aren't interested. Right? So that's the situation we're in right now. Right? It blows my fucking mind. I'm now of the opinion that what these people are doing, from what you'll hear from this interview, it's time to send in armed police. Like, they've got to be corralled up because this is how a domestic terrorist organization would operate. As you'll find out when you watch this Tucker Carlson appearance from Brett Weinstein, they took over the campus, they locked in staff and made a list of demands. So hang on, we've got fear and intimidation with an undercurrent of violence. We've got hostages and we've got demands. Why aren't we trenching in these fuckers and rounding them up? I'm serious.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't even got to go to guns. Couple of nightsticks. We could send the British police in, mate. They could deal with this.
I don't know. Did you see that tweet?
Yeah, one guy is holding on to the legs and is getting battered by a stick. Go down! Go down!
I mean, I think while you bring it up, I'll get you. I'll get you that tweet, right? Because this Evergreen stuff can, there's plenty more. But yeah, I tweeted this out. It's ridiculous. Where was it? Basement dwellers. Fuck, hang on. I gotta find it. Because I've never seen such inept police in here. Yeah, I got it too. Good time in there. Right, there it is, just in case. So this was from the All Well and Good meme Twitter. Just watch this, mate. This is so fucking bad. British police, like, I don't even know what the context behind this is. But like, is this like, how is this real, man? The other guy's like whipping him with a
know, that's what was buckling me. This guy just giving him digs in the back. Go down! Go down! Go down!
Extended police stick, like.
Yeah, fair dues. The guy's on the ground, he ain't doing bad. Fair play, he didn't get kicked off. I'll give him that.
Come on, like,
yeah, but if there's two of you, one of you holding legs, the other one should be dealing with him.
Yeah,
fair play.
The legs plural.
Yeah, true. He is just holding on to the ankles.
Learn how to do a rugby tackle. What? 8 years old?
Yeah, you should know how to do a double leg by now if you're in the police. Like,
even at the end, the guy's just like, "What the fuck are you doing, man? Like, why are you beating me? What's up?" I think he's even on the 40 at the end.
There's a policeman beating me with a stick. Right,
like,
ready? Want to play it?
Yeah, I thought you were. I was talking over it.
Oh, all right. Right. Well,
yeah, get
roll
it
now. Right. 3, 2, 1, go.
So just watch this, guys. It's so unreal. It's just so ridiculous that the fucking.
He's just holding on to one ankle.
Like, what's he doing though? I don't understand. Like, look at it.
Couple of digs. Have a stick. Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Just battering his hamstrings, but just shit back. Get on the ground!
And you can see
now he's got the two legs, but it's too late. He's against the fence, and his mate just is looking at him.
Now he's got a fence.
Yeah, now it's 2v2, mate. Him and the fence.
Yeah, so he just locks his arms around the fence. You can't get him on the floor. You can't get his arms off.
Go to the ground.
just so ridiculous. Anyway, so back to Evergreen. Back to Evergreen. Let's get Tucker Carlson video interview up. So basically, this you'll see Tucker Carlson, like, obviously he gets all the crazies and freaks on, and like generally this entire segment he does is like it's grounds to have a good laugh, right? That's what he does. But Tucker Carlson is like, he's genuinely horrified by this story.
Yeah.
It becomes apparent over this video. I say, we'll play the full thing. It's 5 minutes. He becomes absolutely horrified. And when Professor Weinstein starts describing what has happened on campus since that video broke, it is madness. It's madness. So just play it.
3, 2, 1, go.
Campus craziness, and tonight the title is not an overstatement. It really is crazy. Consider Evergreen State College in Washington and Olympia. Every year the school holds a day in absence. In years past, non-white students symbolically left campus and attended anti-racism events. This year, student activists demanded that all white people leave campus or else. Brett Weinstein refused. He's a professor at Evergreen State, and he called the race-based demand, quote, a show of force and an act of oppression. In response to that, here's what happened.
This is not about you.
I'm talking.
This is all about him. On terms of white privilege. This is not a discussion. You have lost that one.
You said some racist. Can you apologize?
I did not.
Stop telling people of color the useless. You're useless. Get the out.
History could pivot in the direction of the values that you are standing here for.
Yeah, resign.
What?
Resign.
Wow. Professor Brett Weinstein joins us now. Professor, first of all, thank you for coming on. That looks like something, out of Phnom Penh, 1975. Was that, what exactly was going on there? What happened?
Well, what happened is that 50 or so students decided to disrupt the class that I was holding that morning and demand my resignation.
Because you wouldn't leave campus because you're white?
Well, they imagine that I am a racist and that I am teaching racism in the classroom, and that has caused them to imagine that I have no right to speak, that I am harming students by the very act of teaching them.
What happened after the video cut out?
Well, that's an interesting story. The campus police apparently showed up outside of the classroom. The protesters then blocked their entrance. I did not call the police. Someone else called the police, and they were concerned for my safety. But when they tried to come into the building to make sure that I was okay, the protesters blocked them. And because the issue of policing is so sensitive at the moment, the police had to run around and find another entrance to the building to get inside and check with me. At the point they did that, the protesters moved on and corralled the president of the college at his office. They extracted some demands from him. Among the demands was that there would be a meeting, well, actually, demands is perhaps the wrong word, a concession, that there would be a meeting at 4 o'clock in a large room on top of our library building. So that meeting took place at the end of the day, and believe it or not, it was far crazier than the video that you just showed.
This whole story is so over the top that even though we do a lot of these, it's hard for me to believe it's real. So the core demand is that all people of your skin color leave the campus. Your president is a guy called George Bridges. Where was he?
Bridges.
Why isn't, there he is right there. Why, George Bridges is supposed to be running this school. Why is he allowing a mob to threaten one of his professors?
Well, I must say, I have some concern that the story is so strange that it's not even going to make sense to an audience that isn't local to the campus. Dr. Bridges is allowing this mob to effectively control the campus, and they have been in control since 9:30 on Tuesday morning.
In control
At this moment
of the campus.
I believe Dr. Bridges is answering a set of demands put forward by the protesters.
So is this allowed?
And they have said that if
It's
he does
so
not,
fucking unreal,
if
isn't
he
it?
does not accept their demands, that there will be violence. I do not know what his response to those demands is going to be, but I know that that's taking place at this hour. He is also told the police to stand down. So although the campus police have a sense of what it is that needs to happen in a circumstance like this, they have been hobbled by the fact that they answer to the college administration, and in fact for several days have been barricaded in the campus police station.
Oh my gosh, this is like something out of another country. It's just hard to believe any of this is real. And just our viewers should look this up online, because there are a lot of pieces to this story. It's hard to convey on television, but you had this, I thought, powerful line in your letter, and I assume you're no kind of right-winger. If you teach at Evergreen, I'm sure you're, a Hillary voter, but you had this.
No, not a Hillary voter. I'm a deeply progressive person, and I must say
there you go.
I'm troubled by what this implies about the current state of the left.
Well, you think? You said people shouldn't be allowed to speak or not on the basis of their skin color, which seems like a foundational belief of the left, and one that I agree with strongly. And for that, they physically threatened you and are trying to get you fired. This is unbelievable.
They are absolutely trying to get me fired, and they believe that my words in my email are transparently racist. And I think we're caught quite off guard when people who were not at Evergreen read my letter and couldn't find any racism in it.
Well, yeah, just the opposite. Professor, Godspeed to you, and I hope you'll come back with an update on this story, because it's really one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Thank you.
Thanks, Tucker.
Right. So, just to hit the key points again, Sam. Barricade, okay? They barricaded the staff in. They're threatening violence unless demands are met. Am I exaggerating that now is the time for armed police to go in, tear gas these fucks, and make arrests?
Like, do you realize what this is? I don't, like, they need to be told. You realize you are holding hostages under a demand. Like, we could just come in and wablammo everyone.
Like, I'm being serious here. This absolutely cannot be allowed to stand. What kind of fucking message are you sending? We already exist in a timeline where we have had violence perpetrated against speakers. I'm not talking about what happened at Berkeley, where people had to, where protesters and Antifa clashed, and Antifa were committing all of the violence, right? I'm talking about what happened recently at Middlebury College. Middlebury College here. I'll give you a link to this. Middlebury College had a speaker called Charles Murray. You might have seen him. He's a political scientist with, I guess, in this current timeline, some radical views, because he believes that there are some elements within Islam that aren't compatible with Western ideals. Controversial, I know. And he goes to campuses and speaks about this. Whenever there's a terrorist atrocity in the West, they typically wheel Charles Murray out to be the face of the side that says, enough's enough. We need to rework the system. Now, look, I'll tell you, apart from that, Charles Murray is one of the most fucking he's just such a tame speaker. The idea that he's reactionary in the same way a Milo is or something like that. But he went to Middlebury College. And him and another speaker, I forget her name. Let me see if it's in this document. Yeah, Alison Stanger. Right? They after protests and screeching and the usual nonsense happened, they decided to leave the venue to go to a live streamed alternative, because this is what campuses are having to do now. We can't even guarantee the speakers will be allowed to speak. So what we do is we set up streaming online so people can still see the speech. You still get to deliver the speech, but you have to do it online. You can't do it at a college anymore. Okay? So they were assaulted leaving the campus to do that stream by 26 students. And in fact, it was 67 in total that protested and committed things that were against the disciplinary rules of the campus. They all got slaps on the wrist. They didn't even disclose. There was no expulsions for assaulting a speaker that came to your campus. It blows the fucking mind. that this is being allowed. So this is the timeline we're in. I thought that was bad enough. I thought when we were planning this week, doing the shows, I was like, well, Middlebury's going to be front and center because not a lot of people have heard about this. This Evergreen story is unreal. Again, this is domestic terrorism, ladies and gentlemen. This is a radicalized group taking people hostage, making demands or threats of violence will be meted out. What more is there to say about this? Other than these people need to be arrested and probably sent to jail, honestly. This is not how we do things in Western democracies. So I'll show you some other stuff. I mean, well, first of all, let's have a look at this email that supposedly fucking triggered everyone. Where was it? Here it is, I think. Let me just find it. Did I archive it? Is that what I did? Because I've got the list of demands that the students made, which is pretty ridiculous. That's the staff of the newspaper. We'll bring them up in a second. That's the things that he supposedly said. I did post the email, didn't I? Yeah, there it is. I got it. Okay, so here it is. So here's the response, like, to what he said about the day of absence. He replied to somebody here called Rashida. And he said, when you first described the new structure for the day of absence, day of presence, keep in mind, the new structure is white people aren't allowed on campus, okay? I thought I must have misunderstood what you said. Later emails seemed to muddy the waters further. While inviting commitments to participate, I now see from the bold-faced text in the email that I had indeed understood your words correctly. There is a huge difference between a group or coalition deciding to voluntarily absent themselves from a shared space in order to highlight their vital and underappreciated roles, the theme of the Douglas Turner Award play Day of Absence, as well as the recent Women's Day walkout, and a group of coalition encouraging another group to go away. The first is a forceful call to consciousness, which is, of course, crippling to the logic of oppression. The second is a show of force and an act of oppression in and of itself. You may take this letter as a formal protest of this year's structure, and you may assume I will be on campus on the day of absence. I would encourage others to put phenotype aside and reject this new formulation, whether they have registered for it already or not. On a college campus, one's right to speak or to be must never be based on skin color. If there was interest in a public presentation and discussion of race through a scientific evolutionary lens, I'd be willing to organize such an event. It is material I have taught in my own programs and guest lectured on at Evergreen and elsewhere. Everyone would be equally welcome and encouraged to attend such a forum, irrespective of ethnicity, belief structure, native language, political leanings, or position at the college. My only requirement would be that people attend with an open mind and a willingness to act in good faith. If there is interest in such an event, please let me know. And there's his email, brett.weinstein@gmail.com. Now, for that, he was labeled a racist. That email is what they're saying is racist. And they understand from what he said in the Tucker Carlson interview, they're saying that is transparently racist. Where's the racism in that? I can't see it. I legit can't see it. It's just madness. It's fucking madness. Here's another one, just another video, just to show you. These aren't isolated incidents. This wasn't like a 24-hour mass hysteria thing. This is going on right now. They're still doing shit like this at Evergreen. Here's a video from yesterday. All right, let's just watch this. This is again a professor being cornered and being told that they've got to go.
All right, ready? Yep. 3, 2, 1, go. She's like, why though?
Teachers have got to go.
Cannot escape to
Right. So, as you can see there, now what they've done is, I mean, that little old lady at the start, by the way, like, she's got to be feeling intimidated, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's like 40 people who are just screaming in her face.
Look at her. She was just a little lady. She was a little old lady, dude. Well, what are you doing? How is she the fucking problem? How is she racist? I don't get it. What is she doing? She's just standing there. You've got chance of black power. I mean, that's alarming in and of itself. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know anymore. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the Black Panther movement did a bunch of unsavory shit, and I wouldn't want to be affiliated with them necessarily. But then, what does 2468, this time you cannot escape, mean? What does that mean? Escape from what?
Yeah.
They're laughing and bragging and going on social media about how they've literally got the faculty locked in a room too scared to leave. And chanting at them, you cannot escape. This is fucking unreal. This is really frightening. That and the fact that this can happen for days and the police don't go in and clean that shit up. I want you to think about any other situation in the world where a group of 50 people could take over a business and be threatening people and chanting that you can't escape from us and all of this, and it not get shut down. You would have an armed response team there in seconds. If you were lucky, you'd get a beanbag to the fucking dome.
Yeah.
If you were lucky.
Tear gas in the eyes.
Most likely, they're going to snipe you. Like, it's ridiculous. Now, I know you're interested. Do you want to see some of these demands?
Yeah.
Because I got the list of demands. It was published on their university publication. By the way, I think actually I'll show you the staff behind this publication. Keep in mind, this is all about black power and black rights and racist white people and excluding white people. Well, let's have a look at the staff for this fine publication. Here we go. This is the staff page of the publication, the Cooper Point Journal. Wait a minute. Hang on. They look all pretty fucking white to me.
Not a lot of diversity going on here, is there, mate?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you look at the community editor, Sylvie Chase is a soft queer Scorpio. I don't know what that is. Are star signs genders now? Maybe. Yeah, I don't get it. So where's the black voices in the editorial team? You might want some in there because you're claiming to represent the black students. You're claiming to represent the people of color on the campus, but you don't have any in your editorial team. Seems kind of problematic to me. So here's the complete list of student demands. Complete list of student demands. Reasonable student demands that were made. Sorry, I went a bit Jimmy Savile there. Bring it back. Now we read the complete list of demands. So, right. We demand that no changes can be made to the student code of conduct without democratic student consent. Think about that. The rules that govern us on campus can't be changed unless we say it's okay. In what world? Like, how does that work? Yeah, we've been thinking, government, that this whole not being allowed to steal thing is really pissing us off, and you can't change that now. No, we're going to rewind it, and we're in charge. It's just insane. We demand consent as distinct and separate from input in the process of revising the codes that govern us. The coalition of black students and students of color that are submitting these demands will nominate 5 black students to inhabit a student code of conduct task force by the end of spring quarter 2017. The student code of conduct task force will be an autonomous body from the Office of Student Affairs, will employ a consensus-based decision-making process, and will have ratifying and veto power over all revisions of the student code of conduct. So they're asking the faculty to basically acquiesce and create this group of 5 black students who have complete total say over the student code of conduct. Seems reasonable, right? Do you remember that police officer that we saw who was trying to barge past the people that were obstructing a police officer, which is a crime? They want him fired. We demand that Officer Timothy Odell be fired and suspended during the investigation. Why even have an investigation if he has to be fired?
Yeah, exactly. He's already done.
Yeah, it's already done, right? You made the decision. I don't think they quite understand due process. Why would they? They're students. They're students in America. There's no need for things like due process. No need for things like free speech. No need for things like the Constitution anymore. We don't need these documents that enshrine us and protect us. We don't need them. Our feelings matter more. Let's strip away all of the rules and regulations and just operate on feelings. So we demand that he be fired if he is guilty of using excessive force. I mean, we saw the video. Did you see anything excessive?
Nope.
I mean, there's a song that describes, if a police officer has to do his duty and he's got to get from point A to point B, there's a song. It's called Move Bitch, Get Out the Way. You might have heard it. If a police officer has to go and do police officer things, don't obstruct them. That's why it's a goddamn law.
Also, Brett Weinstein didn't even make that call, did he? So... unlucky.
Yeah, unlucky. It says here, when responding to the call made by Brett Weinstein, Odell did not ask questions. Odell started violently pushing through students who were trying to protect black students. No, you weren't. You were trying to stop the police.
Stop him.
Yeah.
Getting to Brett.
Doing it. Yeah, getting to Brett. Odell was asked to stop, and students expressed that they weren't dangerous. Odell refused to listen. Odell continued to knock students over. Didn't happen. Odell was targeting people of color. Also didn't happen.
Wait, wasn't the entire crowd, like, black? Right? So,
no, actually.
Well, the second video was, right? When they were screaming Black Power.
No. Actually, if you look at some of the people in the back, this is the point. I mean, it's a group of people. It's pretty diverse, honestly. You know, they've got that ally card being played, right? We demand the immediate firing of Andrea Siebert Olson, the assistant to the VP for student conduct, from all Evergreen State College positions. We request that no transfer happen, but a complete removal. Siebert Olson has shown a consistent, often violent flaw in judgment when it pertains to the needs and safety of black students, often students of color, trans students, students with disabilities, students who have experienced sexual assault. Siebert Olson has been given an ample amount of time to educate herself about the needs of more marginalized students and has failed to show evidence of effort or effectiveness. So she's just got to go because we don't like her. And we feel that these things that are happening, you know, we want to get somebody senior out, not just a professor. We demand no expansion of police facilities. I mean, so basically, again, we want to continue to break the law unchecked, unfettered, and we don't want more, even though this should be cause for you to go out and hire more police, we're going to veto that. We don't want you to do that. We demand mandatory sensitivity and cultural competency training for faculty staff. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that they've probably all had that anyway in a modern employment environment. We demand the creation of an equity center in the 4th floor of the library building. That's where that demented meeting we haven't even shown yet took place. We demand a remodel that will accommodate students and have movable walls for caucusing spaces. The equity center must be fully staffed, have assistant director, innovative program coordinator, case manager, and student advisors. So that library building, that building above the library, that's ours now. That's our space. We're going to call it an equity center. Bit of a joke because obviously white people will be excluded from it. We want that, and we want you to spend money on making that happen and employ people to run it that we choose. We demand that the coordinator of the Trans and Queer Center is permanently hired full-time. Currently, they are only on a temp contract that ends in June, so now we're making hiring decisions for the business. We demand the creation of a permanent position that will support undocumented students. So students without the proper documentation, they can just come here and just have access to the, college.
Because immigrating illegally is good, of course.
We demand that the video created for the day of absence and day of presence that was stolen by white supremacists and edited to expose and ridicule the students and staff be taken down by the administration this Friday. So now they're saying that the administration must find all copies of the videos we've been playing, and have them taken down using fake DMCA claims. Otherwise, there'll be consequences. We demand you engage in illegal activity. We demand Brett Weinstein be suspended immediately without pay, and all students from his class receive full credit.
What is this?
Oh, mate, we haven't finished. We demand an official statement on each of these demands from George Bridges. That's the guy who runs it. It's divided up into 10 sections. I don't know why, but they want a point-by-point reply. We demand that no change to this. Oh, so here you go. And this is just a summary of them all down here, which is probably what I should have read. So there you go. So they're quite unequivocal in these demands. You got to do fake DMCAs. You got to fire Brett Weinstein, suspend him first without pay for no reason. He's not violated any code of conduct that they can point to in the rules. And there you have it. That's what's going on. So they have issued that list of demands, which again, people seem to be okay. Now I'm gonna take you back. Actually, first let me show you this. I think this is important. This is another one of their demands. It was a demand that wasn't formalized and it wasn't put in their demand document. But because this shitstorm that they have caused themselves by demanding white people can't be on campus and then protesting when somebody says, no, this is unreasonable, and demanding that they be fired, and then, right, this is another demand that they made, and they made it privately. Now, you're going to see George Bridges. George Bridges is the head of the Evergreen College. And they keep doing this thing to him whenever, because he talks with his hands like a lot of us do. They make him talk with his hands down by his side and ridicule him, and he does it. Because it's dangerous. This is doing things like this. This is impinging on their safety. If you think I'm making this up, I mean, again, you should know by now how ridiculous this is. Watch this. So again, this is 2 minute 30. Just let me know when you're playing it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
All of us are students and have homework and projects and things due.
I know.
Have you sent an email out to our faculty letting them know?
No.
What's been done?
Yeah, that's allowed.
We're all here on our own time.
Hey, girl. That is the first thing I'll do. I have not done it yet.
So they need to be told that these assignments won't be done on time. And we don't need to be penalized for that.
I don't know the names of all the students here.
We'll just send it to all the faculty. It matters. Your last president was black, so I know you can do it, Joe. Yeah, Joe.
I love your confidence in me. Hold on. Sorry. I speak with my hands.
The faculty need to know what's going on so that y'all can't keep doing this pointing fingers. And since I know
you act like we don't have technology, yo. Are you listening? Okay, this is it. This is how you can help.
Please.
You please, George. You please. Come on.
I'm trying to talk.
Okay, we trying to listen. Go ahead.
I'm trying to talk.
Okay.
Okay.
Just go ahead. Just go ahead and say it.
I want to go to work on these with Wendy, the other people here, the faculty.
Oh, faculty, y'all staying?
I need some privacy, folks. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I have claustrophobia.
Oh, okay.
Blocking America. And we endure hate crimes on your campus and we pay to be here for.
That students of color have to work in threatening environments every day.
Come on, baby.
Welcome. Get to work.
You can get that work. Can he get this desk? Can he get this desk? I mean, Yeah, George, you're going to have migrate to your desk. We'll be right here.
All right, George, I'm going to catch you on the flip side, Playboy. Sorry, folks. I will work on these. You can hold me accountable by Friday.
George, this is shit we got to do every day. If you don't go to your desk,
you don't let us get so by Friday, if all those are met, you need to pay for a potluck.
Pay for a potluck anyway.
Yeah, okay, bet. Okay, we want gumbo. Bet.
We want gumbo. Made by my mama.
Try and copy this to put it up on the college's website.
You can scan it. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm going to scan this, and we're going to put it up on the college website.
Fucking hell. He just buckles under everything, this cunt.
They got scanners down in the library.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Shit. Peace out, y'all. Tired now. My legs hurt. My body hurt. I'm tired.
Right. So again, what are we doing here? Like, you've got all these people's faces, you know their names. The only resolution here is that these people are expelled immediately and they're prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. You know, what is that bullshit as well? Like, it just goes to show the inherent hypocrisy in these fucking movements, dude. Like, oh, look, I've got claustrophobia, so please, I need some room, you know, to feel comfortable. Ah, well, we have to feel uncomfortable every day. All right, I see. It's all about you. It's all about you. And that's the inherent truth at the center of all of these movements, that it's all about themselves, and it's not about inclusivity. It's not about respecting everybody equally at all. So absolute fucking nonsense. And like I say, there's got to be some sort of action, taken here. Now, here, I'm going to show you something that's going to terrify you. I'm going to show you George Bridges, that guy we just saw getting absolutely cuckolded and wrecked. I'm going to show you September last year. So we're not talking ancient history. It hasn't even been 1 year, right? Here's a news report. And he got wrecked by so here you go, right? So the University of Chicago have been fighting against political correctness. And they said the way Evergreen do things is ridiculous with the safe spaces and everything else. So this guy came out and defended it. He was an ally. He wrote an op-ed saying that anybody saying safe spaces and trigger warnings shouldn't exist in universities show a profound indifference to concerns that many students now bring to colleges and university. Either the university is completely tone deaf to the academic and developmental needs of many students, or is launching its own counterattack on what it perceives as an unwarranted assault of political correctness on campus, or both. And he then went on to say that we need trigger warnings because it can be valuable in alerting students to genuinely distressing content that could otherwise cripple their learning. A simple warning about troubling content acknowledges students' unique personal circumstances, enables students to prepare and adapt if necessary, and fosters a classroom climate focused on the students as a learner with unique capacities and assets, he wrote. Now do you see what I'm saying when I say if you give these fuckers an inch, they take a mile? Once you humor them, they're going to come in and they'll take it all. There's the guy out there arguing for the shit these guys want. Look how they treated him. Nice. I'm just watching what you're doing on the stream. That guy's literally been shit on for doing what they wanted. And, he has to talk with his hands down because he's white. His claustrophobia is not being respected.
Exactly, yeah. And they're all like, we have to feel it as well. I have claustrophobia. Haha, you have claustrophobia. Fuck you. All right, sound reasonable, guys.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. You give these people an inch, they take it all. They take it all. And literally, they take it all. They take over the campus. They threaten you with violence. And they behave like domestic terrorists. And nobody does anything. Nobody bats an eyelid. Now the good news about this is I am convinced this has to be
the straw.
Yeah, this has got to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I can't believe other universities that are humoring this type of behavior are looking and going, so wait, if we go down this road, we end up getting cornered, threatened, and potentially forced to being fired, and maybe beaten to death. I don't know. I don't know how far these people are willing to go. You know what? Maybe we should put a stop to this, eh? Maybe enough's enough. Maybe the madness has gone too fucking far. And I think this will get national news attention. I'll tell you, I saw a story on CNN. A guy called Fareed Zakaria talked about this, and he said liberals think they're tolerant, but they're not. You know, this is a headline. This is something that, again, like we talk about the red pill, right? But this people are watching this and they're like, holy fucking shit. And, you know, they talk about walkouts during speakers like, you know, Betsy DeVos and Mike Pence. You know, a quiet walkout, I don't mind so much. I think when you shut down a speaker, it's a completely different thing. Yeah. But people are starting to wake up to what's going on campuses. People are starting to wake up and fucking saying, like, we got to put our fucking foot down. This is outrageous. Now, just to give you a little bit of something to kind of laugh at. Let me just see if I can find it. I did link it. Where was it? There was. I've seen the type of violence that they're going to enact. Where was it? Was this it? No, that wasn't it. I've definitely got a YouTube video because they actually attack somebody who is trying to spray out their graffiti. Let me just see. Hang on, I will get this. Sorry. Dead air. Because this is the bit where I want to end, because it's pretty fucking funny. Where is it? That isn't it. God damn it. I just don't want to have to go and get it off my laptop. I don't think it's that worth it, but it is worth. Because basically a group of people come out and this guy's spraying, like they've had fire, like they've got a spray can of like fire Brett Weinstein and he's spraying over like Limp Bizkit, like just over it, right? And this group of students come out and basically like they're trying to intimidate him and he's just laughing at them. It's really funny. But I can't find the video right now. I wonder if it got took down actually, because I'm looking, I got a link here that's just an empty YouTube thing. Oh, well, fuck it. So there you go. So Evergreen. It's crazy. That's the shit that's going on there. That's a fair fucking summary of it. I just don't understand why this has been allowed to kind of go on and be humored. There's, you know, people have got to wake up to this shit, because what we're doing is we're demonizing one group of people and we're completely empowering another group of people to treat that other group that we just demonized as being completely, you know, like an other class.
There you go. I got your for you, mate.
Oh, did you?
Someone posted in the chat, so thanks. All
right. Nice. I couldn't get the original link. So this is where we'll end the show. But yeah, here it is. So just, again, let me know when you're playing this video. It's pretty funny.
Right, give me a sec.
I mean, they're really overselling it in this description here. Physically assault. Just watch.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
Biscuit didn't touch those kids.
We should all just be able to enjoy Fred Durst equally. Dude, that was some hellish.
Dude, you should.
Kiss this black trendy ass bitch.
May I? Woo! We're getting feisty today. Whoa!
I'd love it, like. Come at me with that shit and you'll be catching these hands. There you go.
Yeah, mate, I'd have just been laughing that off, same as he was, mate. Come on, like.
Yeah, come on. What's the drink? As if the drink wouldn't trigger it. Getting some shit poured over your head.
Didn't touch those
You have to be
kids.
sticky and gross, you motherfucker. Just trying to write Limp Bizkit. You're ruining my day.
I'm old school. I couldn't hit anybody like that. I couldn't.
Yeah, but you're older than them. I'm gonna be. If I was at the situation, I'd be their age.
Mate, I'm assuming that they couldn't fucking fight their way out of a fucking wet paper bag. Like, you know, that's what I'm assuming. So it's just wrong, innit, at that point. Like, all right, just pour your drink, you know, and fuck off. But yeah, so there you have it. It's so insane. I you know what? I got a good feeling about it, though. I think this is it. I think this is tipping point. I think we've reached peak hysteria, and people are going to do things about it.
We keep saying that, though, man.
Nah, this is it. This is it.
Oh, is it?
This
though?
is
I hope
yeah.
it
This is the one. This is the one. So yeah, I think we're good. So there you go. Look, so we'll wrap up the show. We are, as I said, in case you just tuned in partway through, which I know some of you did. We're going to be doing a daily show Monday to Friday for 2 weeks. That's the plan. We're going to be on the times. We're looking at doing it 2 p.m. Eastern, which makes it 7 p.m. UK and 8 p.m. EU.
11 a.m. Western America.
Good job. And you can tune in. And we're going to do it just in the style like we just did this one. Daily radio show. People can come in, tune in, hang out, engage, send funny messages. We'll probably change the lick my balls thing. And we're going to try and just see as a proof of concept what kind of viewership we can get, whether it's economically viable should we ever want to do this kind of thing full time in the future. So there you have it. So Sam, any final words?
Rest in peace, CZ.
All right then, play us out.